Yeah, you're good.
All right, I'm going to start now. What's going on, you guys? Gaming Addict here, and you're watching The Addict Show, the show where we talk about the past, present, and future of gaming, the gaming industry. Today, I'm joined by Blandrew, a respected member of the Nintendo community and a content creator for... Whoa. Is that me? I hear the echo in the back.
I don't hear anything.
I hear the podcast.
I don't know.
Okay, now I don't. Now I don't anymore.
We're having technical difficulties today.
Yeah, I'm sorry about you guys. Hold up. Let me... All right, anyway, we'll go ahead. I'll go ahead and redo that. I don't know about that. All right, sorry about that, you guys. Had some technical difficulties. But anyway, on to what I was saying. I'm joined by Blandrew, a respected community of the Nintendo... respected member... See, I'm messing up now. A respected member of the Nintendo community and a content creator for YouTube. He also writes for the Weapon Wheel website, mostly on Nintendo news. That's what you mostly do, right, Blandrew, is Nintendo news?
Yeah.
So, definitely go check him out. Check the Weapon Wheel podcast network out. They have got a lot of good content on there. I'm also joined by Ericutz4thewin, a well-known person in these YouTube streets, and she's also a member of the Press Start podcast, and she's also a writer, just like Blandrew, for the Weapon Wheel network. So, definitely, it's like I said, very good articles. Definitely go check them out. What do you mainly do on the Weapon Wheel for writing content?
I'm mostly an editor. I just wrote something a day or two ago, so I'm not like full-time, like all the time. Like Blandrew is kind of like more so the writer, but I just edit.
You just edit.
There.
Just make sure no one messes up.
Pretty much. Yeah, but thanks for having me, though. This is
what
great.
today's Addict show is about is Nintendo E3. And particularly, there's a whole lot you can't really go with Nintendo because they're really wild cards every year. I mean, I don't even think Nintendo knows what Nintendo's going to do until they wake up that morning. But, first topic I really want to talk about is, it's no secret that for the past couple years, they haven't had a press conference. I don't think they've had a press conference since like 2000, like the early 2000, like 11-ish.
2012, I think.
2012.
It's been a
while. With that being said, what do you guys feel like they're not going to have a press conference knowing that the Switch is out? I felt like, do you guys think that is that a mistake? Do you guys think that they should have did one to help promote the Switch? And do you think that they should do one next year?
That's a good question.
Or do you think the directs are good enough?
I'll just go first. I'm a fan of the big conference, like with the audience and everything. I don't know. I think they would benefit more from it. I've said it. I say it every year. But at the same time, if they have the right games and they have the right announcements, like that stuff will spread like fire. People are going to talk about it. And I think the directs can do that. But like I said, I still like that big show. I don't know how you guys feel.
I'm on the completely different side. I do not like Nintendo's presentations. I think they're terrible. They mess up so often whenever they do their live presentations, like either technical difficulties, their controllers aren't working. It's just bad. Directs are way more fun too. Like they can do way more stuff with the direct, and there's quality control. Nothing they really got to worry about except for bringing the games and having fun.
I feel like, the press conference itself would be helpful, more beneficial to them as an overall brand. But when it comes to Nintendo, I feel like out of all the three major platforms, they're the least one that needs a conference. Like, obviously people will crack jokes. They're last in place. They got butchered on the Wii U. But, like, it's not like that they push for third-party marketing. It's not like that, for the most part, they stick to their guns. They stick to their first-party exclusives. So it's like they speak for themselves. Their titles speak for themselves. And where they do directs throughout the year, I feel like that kind of is better on that kind of format for Nintendo than doing an E3 press conference, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm. The cool thing too with them doing directs is they'll like focus on one specific game, like throughout the year. When I'm talking about those kinds of directs, like they just had one for ARMS, right? And they just got to like just talk about the game. And that way they can focus on another game next time. So I think that helps too, because it can build more hype for that specific game.
Now, with that being said, they did have a press conference to reveal the Switch, if I remember correctly.
That's exactly what I was about to jump into. Like they're just bad when it comes to presentations.
What they spent like
Completely.
20 minutes talking about the Joy-Con.
Yeah, and the guy didn't know what the other guy was saying. It was just leave it alone.
I would agree. You know, I feel like Sony has westernized how they do business a lot more than Nintendo has, and you know, them both being Japanese oriented companies. I feel like that for the most part, Sony, they appeal to a different audience, and you know, I would like for them to do a press conference. I'd like to get that, that iconic "we special people." What, like you set this up for your fans, but at the end of the day, I can understand why they don't. You know, whatever happens at E3 in 2017 for Nintendo, that's pretty much, that's not written in stone for Nintendo. What happens with Microsoft and Sony, that's a little bit more written in stone because, they generally keep the biggest news for E3. Besides maybe Sony, sometimes they do like to drop a ball at the Tokyo Game Show. But for the most part, PlayStation's got the PlayStation experience, but Nintendo can drop one of these directs at any time, and they're not afraid to announce something by direct.
Yeah, that's so true. Because like you said, you guys are saying when the Switch was revealed, they had that conference. It was horrible. But look at the Switch. It's doing pretty good. And, you think about Microsoft. If they did horrible at E3, I don't think it would be the same thing to happen, So that tells a lot about Nintendo.
It does. It definitely does. And I feel like for the most part, Nintendo knows what they're doing when it comes to the whole thing. They, I can honestly say from a perspective of ARMS that when that was announced, I was like, this looks like trash. I was like, is this a $19.99 game? Because I feel like that's the only way I'd buy this game. It was terrible. And the longer time goes by, it's like, you see more of these directs, you see more in content on ARMS. And it's like that. I'm like, I might get down on ARMS. And then when they dropped the demo, I was like, I cannot believe I'm about to say this, but I'm about to buy ARMS for full retail price. But, with that being said, I think we'll go. That's all you can really say about the conference because, it's not something we're not used to. We've been dealing with this shit for like the past 5 or 6 years. But anyway, speaking of ARMS, how we were talking about earlier, what they do with them doing this direct, because I think the direct at E3 is an hour and a half long. I believe so, or like 90 minutes long, if that is an hour and a half long.
Yeah.
So with that being said, how they really did these directs and they focused around Splatoon and ARMS, do you think that this particular direct at E3 that they're going to show is going to have them particular two games in it? Do you think they will be there?
Oh, since Blandrew left, I'll go ahead and talk. Well, they did do the full direct on ARMS. And Splatoon, I think, comes out after E3, right? I think it comes out like a month later. So they're probably going to talk about Splatoon and maybe mention ARMS, like here, this is part of our lineup. This is what's coming. As far as like online, if they could talk about online a little bit, maybe they'll incorporate those games just to kind of show off what the online's going to be. But other than that, I'm kind of hoping they just talk about new stuff. And hopefully they can do that. But if they don't, like, I'll understand it because, Nintendo has to kind of like let everybody know like these games are still coming. But I hope it doesn't go as long because I don't think they need to,
Oh, I agree. For the most part, I want to see new stuff. Like, for instance, they have a lot of back catalog that they haven't really touched in years that they can just drop at any time. So, I'll be more curious to see that. But I did notice that Lord Cognito came in from the Iron Lords podcast. Did you catch that question, Lord Cognito?
Actually, I did not. I apologize for me.
I was asking. I'm sorry. I was asking, from a direct standpoint, where they've been showing directs to show ARMS and Splatoon. Yeah. Do you personally think these two games will be at the press conference at E3, at the direct at E3?
Probably not, because I was actually surprised they went in depth as much as they did with both ARMS and Splatoon. So I was actually excited by that because to me it showed that they really have a lot to show at E3. And if they're spending this much time with the character reveals and ARMS and the gameplay and how in depth it is with the switching of the arms and stuff like that, and Splatoon, I believe they showed off a single player campaign. So that really surprised me because I'm like, wow, they're going really in depth. These are two things that could easily be shown on the E3 stage. So that got me very excited to see that, okay, E3, they're going to be showing a lot more, either new IPs or, re-existing stuff that a lot of Nintendo fans want.
What do you think, Blandrew? I know you're having some technical issues. Are you able to hear us?
Yeah, I can hear you, but can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
This stupid thing is terrible.
Man, sometimes technology just don't like people.
But what was the question?
The question was that do you think that ARMS and Splatoon will be at the Direct at E3 when it comes to Nintendo?
I think it'll be there, but I don't think it'll be like in heavy detail or anything. Like they've been going really hard with both E3, so that hopefully means that they have a lot of new things to show.
Yeah, I would definitely agree with you on that. So, I wouldn't mind if they showed some kind of like new aspect of gaming when it comes to Splatoon. Maybe a couple minutes of Splatoon's campaign a little bit more. I think we've seen enough of ARMS. I think I'd like for that to be completely absent, to be completely honest with you. But if they show ARMS, I'd understand because that looks like it's going to be a hit. It looks like they've caught on to another one. So
right after E3 too.
Yeah,
it releases right then.
Yeah, right. The last day or something.
Yep.
So with that being said, that we don't think that, regardless what you think about if ARMS or Splatoon's going to be there, what do you think about Metroid being at the Direct? Do you think there's a chance in hell? I mean, I know there was rumors that not only one, but maybe possibly even two Metroid projects are being worked on at the moment. Do you think it's too soon to be talking about these titles, or do you think that these titles will, at least one of them will be at the E3?
Anybody? I guess I'll go. Go ahead, Blandrew. Go ahead.
My bad.
Someone can talk.
Everyone's chopping at the bit.
Oh, it's fine. Erica, you talk first.
Okay. Yeah, I hope there's a Metroid. I don't think it's too soon. I mean, we've been kind of wanting this for years and years, like an actual legit Metroid. And isn't Retro Studios working on something?
I was referring to like the Switch's release date. It just came out this year.
Got you. I hope so. I mean, even if it's because there's two versions, they're saying it's going to be a 2D and a 3D. At least that's the rumor. Either one I'd be cool with, and I hope it happens. I'm like waiting for it. That's the mic drop for me.
The mic drop. Metroid. I think a lot of people would say a Metroid's a mic drop to them.
Oh yeah,
definitely.
Oh yeah.
So, what do you think, Lord Cogney? Do you think that Metroid has any shot in hell of being at this Direct, or you think it's a Direct post E3?
I would hope so. I mean, the fan base, definitely wants it. It's been a long time. I mean, even if they just, teaser trailered it kind of, and with a 2018/2019 kind of release deal. Obviously, the rest of the year they're pretty, stoked with a lot of big releases. Obviously, Super Mario Odyssey, and a lot of third-party stuff is coming for the rest of the year. FIFA and things of that nature. The Skyrim, I believe, from Bethesda. So they've got a decent lineup this year that they can kind of sit on. But man, the fan base would really be excited for a new Metroid game. Just a trailer, showing something that they're at least working on it, and that we can look out to it for the future. My gut says no. My mind says no, but my heart says yes. That's how I put it that way.
So, what do you think, Blandrew? Do you think that it could come out? Yeah,
I'm on like 95% sure there. There's just been a lot of hints at
difficulty. There you go. It's cutting in and out.
Am I messing up?
The suspense.
Am I messing up or something?
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah, it's like you're cutting out a little bit. Yeah,
Jesus Christ, I swear to good now.
A little bit.
Yeah, you're fine now.
Mm-hmm.
At the end of Metroid Federation Force, there was a tease for Metroid Prime 4. So that could be a thing. And Retro Studios has been hinting at this a lot on Twitter. Like they're posting only Prime numbers, pickers, you know, there's a lot of stuff going on at Retro Studios. And apparently ex-composer and like this composer of other sci-fi games working on the Retro Studios doing whatever. So I think we'll finally see Metroid this year. I don't know if it's going to be Prime or a 2D Metroid. But if we do see 2D, I'm like, that'd be 3DS if anything.
Gotcha. I gotta mention this comment, man. I got a kick out of this comment. He said Blandrew is the best bot. But you know, when it comes to perspective of me, I ain't really played a Metroid since Echoes. I ain't gonna lie to you guys. And to be honest, that's like the last Metroid I can remember that anyone actually talked about. Was Echoes the second one on GameCube, correct?
Yeah.
Or was that the one on the Wii? It's sad we went a whole. It's sad we went almost an entire. We went a whole generation without a new Metroid, didn't we? An entire generation. Yeah. Just like a Zelda, we went an entire generation without a new Zelda.
Pretty much, but that was worth the wait. Woo, Breath of the Wild.
Well worth it.
Well worth it.
Yeah.
So you know, I think we all pretty have the same standpoint. It's a possibility, and we have a good chance. But you know, particularly on my side, I do think there's a chance that you know they've been trolling us because I feel like Nintendo was ran by a bunch of trolls secretly.
Well, Reggie's like the biggest one of all.
Yeah, that's just Reggie.
Yeah. So. But Blandrew's right though, especially about the soundtrack. You know, the guys that are working on the soundtrack, making like a sci-fi kind of thing. I mean, I doubt that's for like a Donkey Kong. You know what I mean? So
Donkey Kong.
I hope. I really hope it's Metroid.
You know how many people would be mad if it's a Donkey Kong?
Tropical Freeze was amazing. I would love a new Donkey Kong for the Switch. I wouldn't even care if it wasn't Metroid.
Oh.
Definitely. You know, I wouldn't mind a Donkey Kong, but I think people would be upset because it's not a Metroid and it's a Donkey Kong. It's not necessarily they don't want a Donkey Kong, but they want a Metroid just a tad bit more.
Yeah, they should put Metroid and then port Donkey Kong because I haven't played that one yet.
There you go.
Both of them announcements. That's a mic drop.
Oh yeah.
We haven't. When's the last time we got a full-fledged Donkey Kong new one? A new Donkey Kong.
February 2014.
Oh my God, man! Nintendo need to step it up.
So it's like they're due with that game too. Like, everything's due.
Yep, everything's due. Long overdue.
Everything going to drop in 2018. So you know, with that being said about Metroid, you know, we have our conspiracies, but what I want to talk about next is Super Smash Brothers, and I get that, you know. A lot of people want Super Smash Bros. I don't think this year it's not being announced. Nothing Super Smash Bros. Is coming. Maybe a direct towards the end of the year. But I think with ARMS, I don't think they want to sit there and announce something like ARMS. But like, oh yeah, at the end of 2017, Smash is coming. And they'd be like, well, I'm waiting for Smash. I'm not paying for ARMS. You know, that there's a lot of people that, you know, would rather play Super Smash Brothers than ARMS. Would you guys agree with that?
Yeah, I mean, I would agree. I mean, just based on the fan base. I mean, ARMS is a new IP. You know, they're just trying to get some feelers out, let people know about what they're cooking. And it looks great, don't get me wrong, but Super Smash has that tremendous history and, you know, just in the fighting community and stuff like that alone, the name itself, you know, rings bells. So I definitely would agree with that statement as far as Smash Brothers being more hyped up.
Smash Brothers ARMS or anything, if they're a good distance apart, though.
Yeah, as long as they're spaced out, they shouldn't trample each other. I would agree with that.
Especially if it's just a Wii U port.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, Smash could come next year. I'm thinking, yeah, just space them apart because you know ARMS is like kind of like the multiplayer along with Splatoon and Mario Kart. There's a lot of
I was about to say, which is Smash is definitely coming this year.
You think? I mean,
that would be great.
Put money on Smash this year.
I don't put money on any kind of bets for at least a year.
You got time out.
I mean, people would be hyped. You know, it would sell a lot of Switches. So
September or October for Smash.
September or October. That's a bold statement, Blandrew.
That's very bold.
I'm putting it.
No, Bland he gave us Metroid, and he's giving us Smash this year. I'll be a happy man.
Metroid year 1, but Smash is definitely
backing out of that now. You're backing out of that now.
The question, to be fair to Blandrew, the question was, would they announce it with a release date? You know, it could be next year, the year after. You know, they might play Sony and it comes out in 2019. I don't know.
Or they could delay it.
Mm-hmm.
Then you got Mario Odyssey going,
Metroid's
coming
definitely
this year
not
too.
2017.
So
yeah, that's another
that's
one.
a lot of bombs if it could happen.
A lot of bombs. Yeah, she's right. Erica's right.
So, you know, I do think that I kind of personally think they're not going to drop a Super Smash Brothers. I do think that they don't want to have conflicting, you know, interests when it comes to ARMS and Super Smash Brothers. They're not exactly the same game, but they are kind of in the same fighting genre. And, you know, let's be real here. The Switch is kind of like, you know, it needs titles. So maybe they would drop Super Smash Brothers anyway because they're like, people are going to pick up ARMS regardless because there's nothing out at the moment. So that is a good possibility. You know, Splatoon, not my thing. I think I'm going to pick up ARMS, but I think I'm going to pass on Splatoon. I know you guys are probably not going to like that statement, but
No, I'm kind of with you. I'm on the fence about ARMS and Splatoon. I haven't played them though.
You didn't get a chance to play the Test Punch?
No, I was busy all weekend. So
Listen, my advice to you is, I was the same way. I'll be completely honest with you guys. You know, I was very, very negative on ARMS the minute it was announced. I'm like, motion control, you know, gimmicky. I wasn't really digging it. And then as they gave us more information, I'm like, okay, it looks a little better. I like the engine, I like what they're trying to do. Until you play it, then you see the vision. And to be honest, I'm not a motion control guy, so I really played it exclusively with standard controls just to see if it can actually be played that way. It is amazing, and it has so much depth to it. Like, I'm gonna tell you guys right now that it's a sleeper hit. And they have a lot of. I was playing like the volleyball mode and having fun with the game.
Thank
I
you.
saw that aren't they replacing it with like basketball? Are they gonna do both?
Yeah,
I think they have like multiple modes. They had like basically the way the online lobby was working. It was really cool because it matches you with a bunch of different people, and then you kind of do random like activities. So one match I did like a triple threat, one match was 1-on-1, another match was volleyball. All the modes were fun. I was like, wow, they got one on their hands, man. This is the winner.
I think that's the only game I've ever seen to where when you play basketball, it's not to get like an object through the hoop. It's to throw the other person through the hoop. Like, I've never seen that in a video game.
So disrespectful.
Iron Lord was basically everything I was feeling about this game. Lord Addict started this podcast off saying that I'm one of the most respected members in this community. I'm one of the most disrespected people in this community.
Let's be real here. No. People trolling and coming down on someone is not the same as your peers that actually follow your YouTube channel.
If I was to say that, I would have been roasted. Okay, but
it don't matter what other people say because this is my podcast and I will say what the hell I want.
Okay, Iron Lord, I'm gonna need you as backup from now on because ARMS is the truth. It's me, you, and Kofi right now.
We going in, man. I'm with you guys.
I like ARMS. I'm gonna pick up ARMS. I like ARMS. I like the concept behind it. I like the multiple different aspects you can have to an attacks. You know, I like the strategic mind behind the game itself.
It definitely looks deep. Even though I haven't played it yet, I can tell.
I will tell you this, Erica, too. The engine is very good, too. Like 1080, 60. It looks crisp. It looks vibrant.
Dude, every game on the Switch looks good for some reason.
Like, people are not giving the graphical. Like, it's just a beautiful game. Like, they could potentially have their little Overwatch going on if they play their cards right. It's really good. And I didn't even get a chance to do the 4-player mode, which I believe like 2 people are tethered to each other with like a string versus another 2. Yeah, and that looked fun. I mean, the game has a lot of potential. Definitely. Nice. And they're going to support it with DLC and consistent free updates from what I hear. So it's going to be around for a while.
So, you know, with ARMS being said, I feel like there are other...
That's what I'm in this game.
I'm sorry, I didn't catch that. You break it up a little bit.
Huh?
You broke up just a tad.
Broke up.
I was just like Smash wouldn't cannibalize ARMS. I see like a lot of Nintendo fans actually supporting this thing because I've just been hearing nothing but great things about this game, except for people who haven't played it.
I feel like every time something new on ARMS comes out, like the hype for this game gets bigger. But you know, with ARMS being said, I feel like with their other big game this year would probably, besides Mario Lost Odyssey, we'll get to that momentarily, but it would be Splatoon 2. I wasn't going to talk about Splatoon 2 because I feel like I played the demo and I didn't have a whole lot of fun playing it, but I played it on the handheld version of the Switch, and I felt like the Pro controller would be the best experience you could have with this particular game. So I just wanted to go around the panel members and just ask, like, what are your expectations and your thoughts on Splatoon 2? So we'll start with Erica. What do you feel about Splatoon?
I haven't played it. I'm like, it's crazy because I have my Switch, but I've been missing these testers, and then I did not have a Wii U. So for me, like,
same here.
Because some people are saying like, oh, it's the same as the first one and blah blah blah. I don't know if they're just haters or what, but that like doesn't bother me because I didn't play the first one, so I'm cool with it if it like it's a lot like the first one. So I don't know if you guys like can say anything to that, but I mean, it seems cool. It seems fun. It's not like we have to have the traditional shooter. It's nice to have something different. I don't see why people are like always hating on it and stuff. It seems like a fun game. So it's kind of in the same area as ARMS. It's like I want to try them, but until then, I don't know.
I feel like one of the things that really turned a lot of people off from this game, I can particularly think of one. Arsenal. They start you out with the motion controls when you played the demo, and I felt like a lot of people don't like motion controls. So I felt like that should have been something that you turn on and not the other way around. I felt like a lot of people that wouldn't really know to look in the settings, which there's a lot of people that will just say, "Oh, this game's trash because I have to tilt the controller to move and to aim." And it's just like I felt like if they would have had standard, the definition where you the motion controls off and then you can turn them on if you want. Do you?
No, you can turn them off.
Well, I know that, but they were on from default. That's
I didn't like that. I agree. Yeah, I agree. That was a mistake.
I agree. On from default, I felt like might have hurt the beta itself.
But believe it or not, Splatoon is a game that like 95% swear by the gyro control and say that is the absolute best way to play it. So they probably did that with like the best intentions. Like on the Wii U version, that was completely analog. I hated aiming with that giant Wii U gamepad, but after playing with the gyro controls, I just can't go back. It's objectively better than the analog.
Yeah, for me it was different because it was like, again, kind of the same boat as Erica. Again, like I'm coming from a completely ignorant standpoint. Like I didn't have the Wii U. I never played Splatoon. I've heard how great it was. I'm a new Switch owner, so I'm definitely excited about it. So when I played it, the first thing I was like, wait, I can't do this motion thing. Like I was tilting up. I'm like, it was just weird to me. So as soon as I
makes it kind of a bad experience.
Yeah, I will admit it did turn me off, and until I realized that you can pause it and then actually disable them, and then I played it the standard way. And I was like, okay, I'm starting to learn it. And I think it was not until I picked the one that has like the big wall roller kind of a weapon. It was like a wall roller, and I was having a lot of fun.
Oh yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, that was kind of fun. And I was just kind of like mowing people down, kind of being like more of an aggressive style with it, and then learning. I've started to learn the intricacies of the game, and I was like, it has a lot of potential.
You do feel like you disrespected people when you roll them over with a giant paintball brush.
Yeah, I was loving that. I was all about the rolling over with the paintbrush. That was my thing.
So,
but yeah, I liked it. I mean, I'm definitely interested in it. I will say, I think ARMS got me a little bit more, but I do like Splatoon. I admit I do. Once I got my control and my bearings down and start to understand, I'm definitely still gonna pick it up.
Yeah, definitely. So, with Splatoon being said, I think that I'll try this game out. When's the next beta? Are they done with the betas? I feel like they're going to do another one.
They might do one before launch, but nothing right now.
All right, so they have like an entire track record when it comes to the overall ARMS betas. Like they literally got a time schedule for like the next month of times where this game's coming is being beta tested.
It's for a while.
Yeah. So with that being said, let's move on to something I think everyone wants. I don't know how Lord Cognito feels about this particular game, but Pokemon. So Pokemon, it's obviously Pokemon Stars have been rumored for a while now, and I don't know if have they ever confirmed if that's going to be like a DS release, like the standard go to the gyms, get the badges.
3DS.
Okay.
So with that being said, do you think that there's a Pokemon coming to the Switch? And if you think it's coming to the Switch, do you think it's going to be the Coliseum way that they went for the N64 to the Stadium? No, the N64 is GameCube. The Stadium was N64. Or do you think they're going to go to that that traditional Pokemon thing? And if so, do you think it's the Stars game, or do you think it's something entirely different?
Good question.
Anyone can take that question when they want to.
I'm waiting for that Pokemon Snap. No.
That.
I don't know, like, I'm gonna sound like I'm not even a Nintendo fan. Like, I didn't play a lot of Pokemon when I was growing up.
You are so similar with our Nintendo history.
It's funny, like just so everybody knows some background on me. Like, I did not have the Wii U because I was just like, I felt like it wasn't for me. Like, a lot of the franchises I loved, they just stopped doing, or they stopped doing them right, like Star Fox, Metroid. So I'm like the old school like Nintendo fan. But I think overall, like Pokemon, whatever it is, hopefully it's something the fans like. It would be huge for the Switch. I think if they announced something, even if it's like a teaser or something like that, people would lose their minds because people love Pokemon. Like, I know that, even though I wasn't like crazy about it, people love freaking Pokemon. So yeah, I think they should do it. I just don't know what kind of Pokemon. Like, maybe you guys can give more insight on that.
I like I liked all of the Pokemon they had for consoles. I enjoyed Coliseum. I enjoyed Stadium. I'm pretty sure they had 2 for the N64 when it comes to stadiums, Pokemon Stadium 1 and Pokemon Stadium 2. Blandrew, what was the sequel to Coliseum? It was like NX or something like that, wasn't it?
For the GameCube, right?
Yes, for the GameCube. Because people are in the comments
Gale
section
of
roasting me,
Darkness?
so it might
Was it Gale of Darkness?
It might have been. I can't remember. Would that be the kind of experience that you guys would want from the Switch version, or would you want that standard, that standard 3DS model?
Oh, 3DS for sure. Like, I don't think you realize how important and like how huge it would be if a mainline Pokemon.
Oh, I agree. I think what would be cool is if there are reports that Switches and 3DSs can coexist with each other, right? They can. Yeah. So I think it would be cool if they, instead of splitting up the colors on the 3DS, they split up the colors on the Switch and the 3DS.
That'll be lit. I mean, Monster Hunter now they're starting to hint at 3DS/Switch online crossplay. So that this is something that they can explore, and it would be really, really huge. I mean, a lot of potential there. I think, it's coming. I think it's only a matter of time that, tea leaves are there as far as development and stuff like that. I don't know, which one would come. My Nintendo history is kind of similar to Erica in the sense that I've never really played a Pokemon game either. And I do see the craze. I do see, the excitement. And now that as a Switch owner, I can completely see that thing, blowing up on the Switch. And if they added like that type of functionality, I mean, that thing's going to sell like hotcakes. Just point blank. They whenever they decide to release that bomb, it's going to be pandemonium as far as game sales.
BG thought that Zelda pushed units.
Pokemon, listen, for me to even be able to I don't even know how I was able to resist it during the whole phase of, the mobile phone phase. And I watch my friends, I watch people who are non-gamers, who never gamed in their life, played Pokemon. And I'm like, wow, this thing's a movement. You know what I mean? So, yeah, this is, again, another loaded gun that whenever Nintendo's ready, they can really knock it out the park by just announcing the release. So. And then you throw, like I said, some 3DS crossplay with that and keep that community. They got another hit on their hands.
Yeah, I'd agree. When it comes to Pokemon, there's not a lot of memories that can triumph, playing Pokemon Red. and finally getting to blue, or if you're playing blue, getting a red at the end of the Elite Four, and just getting murdered by his starter. You feel part of your soul leave you because you had a hard time getting past the Elite Four when you ate. So with that being said, does anyone else have any more feedback they want to talk about Pokemon, or you think we all good about Pokemon?
We all agree it should come, right?
Oh,
I mean,
I think
that's the consensus.
I think Lord Cognito messed up on the analogy. That's not a gun, that's a bazooka.
Yeah, you're right. You're absolutely right. Yeah, I apologize.
Yeah,
that's
probably one of the biggest gaming franchises in existence right now.
Absolutely.
And I hope it happens. I mean, even though I probably wouldn't buy it personally, but
Yeah,
I always feel like when Nintendo's good and they're selling well, they're doing really well, I feel like the industry is just better. I don't know. That's just me though. Like, and Pokemon would definitely like add to that.
Erica would fall to that hype and buy that Pokemon game. Oh, dude, I'm just waiting for it, dude. I'm waiting for the Switch to outsell. I ain't gonna say nothing this month or next month, but if the Switch outsells the Xbox One and PS4 all the way to the end of the year, they will be a video. Like,
you know it's coming. Like BG and Black Bond, they get in this work.
You kept the screenshots, right?
Tell 'em. Nice.
Oh, I'm sure Blandrew got a whole folder full of screenshots.
Got a whole folder.
He has it on a flash drive.
Files.
He has it on a flash drive in his wallet, and there's a label on it called ammo. So
I want to see BG throw his PS4. He said he would do that, right? I want to see that.
Oh, he said he would throw his PS4 if he was wrong?
I think he said something like
I
that.
want that on camera.
Exactly.
Yeah, right. This man. No, there has to be a speculation where he can't just go out and buy another one or buy a broken one on eBay and throw that.
Yeah, we need some kind of proof.
Exactly.
So, with Pokemon being said, I think we can all agree. It's like Erica said, this is one of the most beloved franchises in gaming history. There's not really a whole lot that is above Pokemon. I think Pokemon is one of the most famous franchises in gaming. I think Nintendo owns like the top 5 of the most famous franchises in gaming.
Probably.
Think about it. Yeah, Mario,
much.
Zelda.
But with that
Pokemon.
being said, let's talk about the big stuff that we know is going to be at this E3 when it comes to this Direct. First thing I want to talk about is the online. We know that, as of right now, the online to the Switch is very, very bland. It feels like you're going below. It doesn't have basic features that the 360 and PS3 had, which, that's a completely other video. But with that being said, they are going to be releasing the price, what they feel like this service is worth in the next couple months. I'm assuming it will be announced at E3. Maybe not, but I am assuming, the app, with their online services, all that will be at E3. Do you guys think that they have enough in the, they've been working on with this app to justify a price on the online functionality of the Switch, and how much do you think it should be worth? We'll start with Blandrew first.
What was the question?
Do you think that the Switch has enough, do you think whatever they're working on when it comes to online capability, do you think it's worth the money that they'll be asking for it? And how much do you think it should be worth?
Or something like that. So I'm just hoping for achievements. That's really all I'm hoping for from Nintendo.
Amen.
Yes.
Amen.
My main thing. And if they can keep their online, like if we start getting buttery like online, like ARMS, that's really all I need from them. Online and great achievements.
I think that is one of the key features and key platforms that they are really, really lacking. What do you think they'll call them if they did bring out an achievement / trophy system? What do you think they would call them? Mario coins? Coins?
Yeah,
Medals. Yeah, I was thinking medals. Yeah.
Medals would be
Medals might work.
perfect.
So with that being said, how much do you think this service would be worth? Like, if they were to come to you and be like, well, how much would you pay? How much would you guys pay yearly? We'll say yearly, not monthly.
Well, how much? Okay, for PSN I pay 50, or did that went up, right? Ah, it did. I have to renew mine, I think this month or next month. So I'm not looking forward to that. But I already do that. I canceled Live, Xbox Live. So I used to pay over 100 for both. So I don't know. I mean, if Nintendo came out and said it was 50 or, you know, something along those lines, but if it was worth it, I might do it, but I would love to pay under that, like maybe 20, 30.
Yeah, I think they said that there was a 20 deluxe, like there was a 20 model and a 30 deluxe model or something.
Yeah, like that was like the rumor, I think. So
and I think if that, you know, that came out to be completely factual, I think that would be fair. Even if it was like it is now, I think that would be fair.
Yeah.
Because you are still using their services. Like, you know, ideally it'd be free. But we don't live in an ideal world when it comes to online subscriptions to gaming anymore. Let's just be real here.
Yeah, that's like the norm now. And like Blandrew said, achievements and then party chat for me. I need that party chat. And I don't know if they're still going to do the whole like using your phone and all of that. See, if they start doing that kind of stuff, I might feel like, I don't know if I want to pay for this.
Me and Lord Cognito were playing Mario Kart, and we were sitting there. We was on Xbox playing the Mario Kart, and we were sitting there, and we were talking all kinds of this trash to each other. And I was like, you know what's really sad, Cognito? He's like, what? I was like, we on Xbox using their services to play. I was like, what Nintendo should do is if you buy a Switch, you get a 3-month Xbox Live card for free.
Cross promotion.
Yeah, right, just use chat.
Oh man, I know.
Arzula says 20 at the most. Would you think 20 would be that thing? Yeah, I think that's a little bit lower than they said. I think they said 25. You think that $5 would make and break people?
I think my limit is probably 30. I mean, you know, at this point, just basic functionality. That's what I need. I need first, like
we need to be this to 2017 at least. Like we need to be in 2012 at least.
Exactly. I mean, because right now my friend list is just pretty much my stalker list. I just look at what people did 4 hours ago. I can't send anyone a message, you know, that kind of stuff. So we got to have messaging. We have to have, you know, party chat, like Eric said, you know, achievements, like Blandrew said. I mean, those are just basic quality of life things that need to happen. So that's the first thing. As far as the party chat thing, I mean, I kind of feel a way about using my phone, honestly, Nintendo. Like I really don't want to have to bring. I mean, yes, I do use my phone when I have my Switch. Naturally, you know, when I'm looking at stuff, but you know, it would just be nice to be able to, you know, plug a headset inside, and you know, at least the standard one. You know, I think at GameStop when I got my Switch, you know, they offered a headset, so the functionality is there in the device. The device can support microphone chat. They are choosing to use this app and force this upon us. So that's the thing I have an issue with, and you know, ultimately, I would like it to be an option. You know, if you want to do it the traditional way, you have that option. If you want to use this app and be able to communicate that way, you have that option. And maybe you have more functionality. They try to, you know, entice you to use the app. But I would like the standard way, because games like Mario Kart, so much fun, Lord Addict. You know how much fun we have with that game. It's just like, it's just murder not to be able to talk to each other, you know, with the device without using Xbox Live. Or something of that nature. So that's where I'm at with it. So hopefully they have a good plan, and we'll see what they got cooking. You know, E3.
Yeah, and part of me feels like, you know, basic features that's been in gaming for like the past 10 years is the only thing stopping Nintendo from the end zone.
Pretty much.
But, you know, Lord Cognito likes to call them Grandpa Nintendo. So
Grandpa.
Stuck in his ways. Yeah, stuck in their old ways.
Yep.
So, you know, with the price being out of the way, let's talk about Mario Odyssey. That's going to be their big game in the fall. What do you guys think of the Mario Odyssey that we've currently have seen to this point?
You
know,
when I first saw
game
it,
of the year.
No, I think Zelda getting game of the year.
Well, yeah, Zelda, but another game of the year.
The holiday. when I first saw it, I was like, wait, what is this? Because he was like in the city. I was like, it's like some weird universe from like GTA or something. It was like really weird. But then the more I saw, and then I think I kept watching the trailer, and I was like, that looks pretty damn good, because it takes us back to like Mario, 64, kind of like that vibe. And that's like the one, well, that along with Galaxy was like the last two I really loved. So I'm all for it. Like I think it's gonna be great. I mean, Mario is, like, we're talking about Pokemon. Mario is even more well known, and people love Mario. So it's gonna be great for the Switch. I hope it's not delayed or anything. That's my thing.
There is rumors that it is going to be delayed. I don't know how.
Really, I haven't heard those rumors. I was hoping
They
not
said
to.
the game was. They said they could have launched the game at Switch's launch, but they just wanted to polish it some more.
Okay.
Oh wow, really?
Hopefully.
Okay, cool.
Yeah,
That gives me
hopefully
confidence.
that's
I
it.
like that.
They do need like a big holiday game, so I think it shouldn't be delayed. But yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I can't wait.
All right. So in terms of that, obviously we expect this a direct. Do you think that this game, how much do you think of this direct that they'll devote to Mario Lost Odyssey?
Probably half. A lot.
Yeah, it's got to get shine. It's got to. I mean, this is the heavy hitter for the fall. So yeah, and they did hint at it in the I believe the press release that they were going to talk about it. So yeah, I expect a good healthy chunk of Mario time being devoted to that direct.
I expect it to be the opening game.
Could be too. Yeah.
Now, when it comes to, do you guys expect any other kind of games at the conference? Or do you think that they're going to stick to, I hear about Xenoblade 2. I hear, games of that sort. Do you think that we'll see anything like that on their direct, or do you think they'll stick to mainly, doing the online subscription, what they have there, showing like, little indies here and there, and then show Mario Odyssey, and then maybe the Zelda DLC? I don't think they'll show that, but who knows? It's Nintendo, and then end it. Or do you think they'll sprinkle some other kind of games in there? I think they'll have a mixture of all of it.
Honestly, I expect Nintendo to do like some type of little video just explaining maybe like and just throw it up on their YouTube. I don't expect that to be at E3, but I do think we'll see like Wii U ports like Smash and Mario Maker and some of the more popular titles make its way over to the Switch. And yeah, I think all the games that we also saw like Xenoblade and Mario Odyssey will also be there as well.
Yeah. I think that would be a great lineup. Absolutely.
Yeah, I'm with that. They're going to show pretty much what Blandrew said. I think Xenoblade will be in there, which I hope, because I want to play it. So
yeah.
All right, here.
But one thing I really hope, Lord, I mean, I need some virtual console.
that
badly.
Too.
I need that with a passion. Like that is one of the things that entice me about having the system and the potential, because I knew that we had it, and that's the only thing I always missed out on, and just being able to play that entire library, or have those games added. And they were going to do the monthly service. They did hint at doing the monthly service of adding, like giving you a game, even though I heard they were going to take the game back after the month, but like a free game. Yeah, almost like a games with gold PSN plus kind of deal. If they can get that going, man, that would be a great announcement, just to have the prospect of playing those classic Nintendo, because that's the Nintendo I grew up with. I haven't had a Nintendo since like the GameCube, 64, that kind of stuff. So just to be able to have to play those games, man. Oh, please, Nintendo, give me virtual console. That's what
I would love it. Yeah, go for it. Go ahead.
They said there was like a heavy rumor that they were bringing back GameCube Virtual Console too.
Yes,
bringing GameCube Virtual Console.
Yes,
nice.
that would be cool. And that would be a perfect.
I want to
way
play Gotcha
Force for Metroid, because I played that Metroid on that GameCube one. That one was great. I remember that one.
I want to play Gotcha Force again. It's on the GameCube. Bring that game to me, please.
GameCube
You're the
was
only
awesome.
person I know that knows what Gotcha Force is.
Dude, you know how many hours I put into that damn game? It's not even funny. And you know what's funny? That is one of the most underrated games from that era that is ever. Like, these people will make you grind for Legos pretty much. And it's like when you get to Shogun Samurai, you feel like such a badass, and it's like, yo, you can get those ships? I gotta get in that.
Dragon?
Yeah.
How many people in the chat heard of Gotcha Force? I'm curious. But anyway, on to the last segment. Mic drop moments. Every company has them. Nintendo less than most. because for the most part they keep all they show their cards. They're not that good at Texas Hold'em, any kind of card game. But for the most part, I'm gonna go down the panel. Tell me what you think is a mic drop moment. It doesn't necessarily think that something that you think's gonna happen. It could just be something that if they did, it'd be a mic drop moment. Blandrew.
Metroid.
Yeah. That's the killer.
Is everyone just going to see me and Eric were talking about this?
I was going to say the same thing.
Metroid, it's the killer, man. I mean, they win. They can just walk away with that. I mean, Blandrew's got it. Like, that is huge.
Now, here's the question. Do they have to drop the mic itself?
They could walk off with the mic for all we care. Just announce it.
Anchorman says in the comment section a new Wario game.
Wario?
Anchorman.
Sometimes I forget that dude exists. So we're all pretty much agreeing on the.
I have a fantasy of like Konami bringing back Contra. If that could yeah, or some
4DS mic drop.
Well, I know that would suck, but I don't know. I'm trying to think of other games. We already said Pokemon. I felt like that would be another one. And what I was gonna say though, with the whole virtual console too, maybe they can announce something where it's like kind of like a Game Pass, like the Xbox is doing. You pay like $10, you could play this huge library.
That would be sick.
I would do that. Like if I had to choose between the online and that, I think I would choose that just to play those games.
Let's say they're doing these emulators, okay? Would you guys pay for let's say they do a service, and they have these emulators. They have the NES, the SNES, they have the GameCube, the N64, and they're like $5, and you can have that entire category a month, and not the entire category. It's like $5 for the GameCube, $5 for the N64, and
sign me up.
Yeah, I'm there. Portable
Take my
GameCube?
money. What?
That's the dream right there.
Gotcha Force better.
Yeah, that's an easy decision. Yeah, no question.
No question.
I think that would blow Game Pass out of the water.
Definitely.
Because you don't even have to buy Switch games. Do you think they might not do that because people will just keep playing these expansive libraries and never buying obviously that would be a good way to fill in the droughts. Between their big first party exclusives.
I mean, they don't have to put every single thing. I mean, that's kind of impossible anyways, because licenses and things like that, possibly. But definitely their first party stuff. That should all be on there.
Out of curiosity, Blandrew, I know I've been talking about this. Did Nintendo publish Gotcha Force?
Capcom.
Damn it.
Okay.
Which one would you guys buy first? If everything's $5 each, what system would you go to first?
Cube. Yeah, I gotta go to Cube because it's been a while for me. Yeah, Cube. Probably have to do that. But I mean, I got some love for old school Super NES too, though.
I'd probably go Super Nintendo first.
Yeah, I got Super Nintendo's very enticing. Yeah, I would say there's a lot of good titles right there during that era.
That Super Metroid.
Also, definitely. Also, Addict. I want to throw in from mic drop. If they put in a Switch Fire Emblem game. If they had that going.
Oh, they already said they're making one.
If they announced that during that Direct too, that would be that would be a huge one.
Just just some for your information moments. If they come out and announce more Bond towers for the 3DS and the Switch, I might have an aneurysm and just die right then and there.
Yeah,
sick. Every time that Fire Emblem game comes up on my YouTube ads or any kind of ad that has that game, and I'm like, they need to stop doing this shit. I get very it's not that I understand that that is still a very big demographic that they want to still appease to. It's got a huge install base, but I'm like, I got a Switch. I don't got a 3DS.
I know it pisses me off. It's I want to play that. You can't. You're like, when is it coming?
So with that being said, I do have one quick question. Do you guys think that they'll have any kind of bundles this year? Anything? Even if they bundled 1-2 Switch, do you think the holiday season they'll put a bundle with a Switch?
Super or you think Smash Nintendo's Brothers bundle?
Huh?
Brothers bundle.
I don't think they're doing that. I don't think Super Smash Bros. Is coming out this year. I'm going to stand by that.
A new Smash or a port?
A port with like new content.
Okay. I could see that.
No,
See that. Maybe a Zelda bundle if they could. That'd be great. I think it's possible.
It's possible. I mean, they need to damn put that damn 1-2 switch in. That's me personally. They had the nerve to try to make that separate when we know that, you know, kind of vaporware-ish. But it shows off. It should have been bundled because it really shows off the cool features of the tech. Like it shows off, you know, the HD rumble and all the things that the device can do. So yeah, it should be part of it. I'll tell you this though, if they even think about like bundling Zelda or Mario Kart, that thing's gonna fly off the shelves. So I mean, to me, that's like a go-to move whenever they're ready to do that, because those two games right there will move systems tremendously as they already are showing right now.
Do you guys think it'll pass the Xbox One sales?
Definitely.
Just had this conversation on my Iron Lord podcast, and I'm trying to warn the, you know, my Xbox is my preference, but I'm trying to warn the Microsoft community that Nintendo is coming.
Mm-hmm.
So,
I think they can too.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Hold on one second. Okay.
Is Addict here? Everybody got
Shut
quiet.
Yes, I got a call from Addict. Looks like what you call it? He's got a little disconnect issue with his connection. So yeah, try to wrap it up here for you guys. But where can the fine people find you guys?
You can find me on my Twitter at BlandrewYT, and you can find me on YouTube at Blandrew. I make videos now.
Nice.
They're good videos too.
Yeah, thanks.
They're good videos. And Erica?
You can find me on Twitter and YouTube as well, Ericutz4thewin. And I'm also, like Addict said earlier, I'm going to be on the Press Start podcast as a permanent member starting this Thursday on June 1st at 5 Pacific. So yeah. I also write for weaponwheelnetwork.com and sheattack.com. So I'm kind of everywhere right now. But yeah, thanks for having me, guys.
Absolutely. It's always fun to talk Nintendo. Apologize for being late myself. But yeah, Lord Cognito here, Iron Law Podcast. We host it Sundays at 1 p.m. Come check us out. We talk all platforms, all gaming. And I'm always one of the few lords to actually raise the Nintendo flag every day because I'm very happy with my Switch. And I always try to let people know, hey, it's great tech and they got a lot of good stuff coming. So on that note, I guess we will end the show.